Welcome back to Evergreen Mind. Today, we are diving into a timeless classic that asks a fundamental question: where does true motivation come from? We are talking about Paulo Coelho's masterpiece, The Alchemist. When we are in our early 20s, many of us ask ourselves, what is my dream? What do I really want to do with my life? Then, by the time we hit 25, we start wondering if we have actually put in the effort to achieve those dreams. Are we really following our hearts? And when we turn 30, we often find ourselves looking down, asking once more, if my lifelong dream has not come true yet, is it too late to start now? If you are feeling adrift in life, or if your heart is feeling a bit uncertain, then spending a few hours reading this brilliant novel of about 200 pages might just give you the answers you have been looking for. You see, The Alchemist has been around for over 30 years. It has been translated into 81 languages and has become a bestseller in more than 170 countries. In Brazil, its fame is practically on par with soccer and religion. The reason this book has such a massive impact is that, when you read it, you can see a reflection of yourself somewhere in the story. It follows the journey of a young shepherd named Santiago. To pursue his dream, he doesn't hesitate to sell his entire flock of sheep, which was basically his entire life savings. He overcomes countless obstacles on a quest to find a hidden treasure in the desert. It is a simple fable, really, but it has transformed hundreds of millions of hearts. What is truly fascinating is that this story mirrors the author's own spiritual journey. At the age of 17, Paulo Coelho was so rebellious that his parents actually had him committed to a psychiatric hospital. Later in life, he was even imprisoned for opposing a dictatorial regime. By the time he was 38, it felt like he hadn't achieved much. But then, he embarked on a solitary pilgrimage, walking hundreds of miles along the Camino de Santiago in Spain. This incredible journey allowed his restless heart to finally find peace. Afterward, he poured all the insights and reflections from that trek into the story of Santiago's treasure hunt. Once published, The Alchemist lit up the hearts of countless people who were feeling lost or stuck. It elevated Coelho to become the only Latin American writer frequently compared to the legendary Gabriel Garcia Marquez, the author of the immortal novel, 100 Years of Solitude. So, what does The Alchemist teach us? It tells us that a life without purpose is just a chaotic maze. Anyone who wanders into it without a goal will spend their whole life just struggling to find a way out. And if you are too worried about winning and losing, you will always end up missing out on your dreams. Let's look at Santiago. He was born into an ordinary family in Spain. His parents made a modest living off a small plot of farmland. From the moment he was born, they pinned all their hopes on him. They sent him to a seminary, hoping he'd become a priest and bring pride to the family. Being a priest meant a stable life, but that wasn't what Santiago wanted. One day, he gathered all his courage and told his father that he didn't want to be a priest. His dream was to travel, to see the world. His father strongly objected at first, but you simply cannot persuade someone who has truly made up their mind. Eventually, his father compromised. He gave his son 3 gold coins and told him to buy a flock of sheep and live the life he wanted. Those 3 gold coins weren't just a compromise. They symbolized his father's deep, unspoken support. Because, as it turns out, his father had once harbored the very same dream of traveling the world when he was young. This brings us to a beautiful realization. In this book, every character has a dream. Santiago's father wanted to travel. The popcorn seller on the street had dreamed of going to Africa since he was a kid. The crystal merchant yearned to make a pilgrimage to Mecca. Even the bandits near the pyramids had dreams of finding treasure, just like Santiago. But for various reasons, mostly the harsh pressures of reality, they all ended up shelving their dreams, leaving behind nothing but daily regrets. And whatever the reason, it always boils down to weighing what you might gain against what you might lose. This constant calculation clouds your original desires. If we don't have the courage and inner resolve to stick to what we truly want, we will never break out of our comfort zones. Santiago, however, shattered the endless loop of his safe reality. He left his hometown alone, became a shepherd, and chose the life he desired. Over 2 years, he mastered the skills of a shepherd, saw breathtaking landscapes, and met fascinating people. He thought his whole life would just sail smoothly along this path. But then, the universe sent him a signal. For 2 consecutive nights, he had the exact same dream. A child led him to the Egyptian pyramids and told him there was a hidden treasure nearby. What did it mean? Soon after, he met an old man who called himself the King of Salem. The old man told him that this dream was his personal legend. The treasure sounded incredibly tempting, but his current life was tangible and secure. Santiago was torn. If he went looking for the treasure now, he would have to give up everything he had built. Like so many of us, he almost lost his way by overthinking the risks. As the King of Salem told the young shepherd, "Your personal legend is what you have always wanted to accomplish." That single phrase reignited Santiago's passion. Wasn't his lifelong dream to see the vast world? Following the call of his heart, he chose to set out once again to chase his dream. You know, the biggest twist in life is when you give up, bow to reality, and say, "Well, it is too late. This is my fate. I just have to accept it." But that is simply not true. Destiny isn't something that leaves you filled with regret. Destiny is what you genuinely want to do. People often wonder whether they'll regret the things they haven't done or the things they have done. Studies show that when it comes to things we have attempted and failed, we usually only feel regret for a short time. We tell ourselves we should have done better, and over time, we rationalize it and the regret fades. But the things we truly wanted to do and never did, we agonize over those every single day. It becomes a lifelong regret that is incredibly hard to forget because we simply cannot rationalize it or convince ourselves otherwise. As a writer once said, because we refuse to take that first step, our dreams remain forever out of reach. Dreams can't stand to be kept waiting, and they wither in the face of discouragement. It is like red-hot steel in a forge. You have to strike and shape it while the temperature is high. Once it cools down, it becomes much harder to mold. So, when your long-held, quiet dream is suddenly awakened, take action immediately. Take that very first step toward pursuing your dream while the passion is still burning. Even if you don't ultimately reach the finish line, the daily effort will ensure that you meet a better version of yourself along the way. Of course, whatever knocks you down will require you to be even stronger on your journey. It is never going to be smooth sailing all the time. During his first days in Africa, Santiago was hit with two massive blows. First, he faced a severe language barrier. Second, he met a guy who spoke Spanish, who he thought was a true friend, only to have the guy steal every penny he had. Just the day before, his future looked incredibly bright. Now he was completely broke. Santiago was on the verge of collapsing. In the blink of an eye, he went from owning 60 sheep to having absolutely nothing, stranded and alone in a strange land. But then, he remembered the words of the King of Salem. When you really want something, the whole universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. Those words gave him an incredible surge of courage and confidence. The next day, he packed his things and hit the streets, ready to find an opportunity. Life sometimes deals you a heavy blow, but it also hands you hope and faith. All you need is a sharp eye to spot problems that need solving and a willingness to help others. Santiago came across a crystal shop on a hill, but business was terribly slow. Observing the situation, he suggested to the owner that clean crystal would attract more customers. He offered to clean all the crystal in the shop in exchange for a meal. Before the owner even agreed, Santiago just started cleaning. Surprisingly, the sparkling glass immediately drew in 2 paying customers. Just like that, he got the job. But let's not forget, his dream of reaching Egypt required crossing thousands of miles of desert. A day or two of work wasn't going to pay for that. When chasing a dream, there are moments of absolute despair, like when you work incredibly hard for a long time, only to feel like your goal is still miles away. Santiago felt this heartache, but he stayed at the crystal shop. He temporarily put his dream on hold and focused on making money. He came up with brilliant ideas that turned the struggling shop into a booming business. A year later, Santiago had earned double the money he originally had. Plus, he hadn't just learned about business, he had also learned to speak Arabic. For someone whose heart is truly set on their goal, temporary hardships aren't seen as torture or unfairness. They are just tests to forge your character, stepping stones toward your ultimate growth. Sometimes you have to let go of what you have to reach the shores of your dream. At this point, Santiago faced another choice. He could stay and live a wealthy life as a merchant, or he could hit the road and chase his dream. The crystal merchant tried hard to convince him to stay. But the words of the King of Salem were still echoing in his ears. Always remember what you want. So, he walked away from a comfortable, affluent life and chose to resume his quest. He never forgot that the whole purpose of his journey was to reach Egypt and find his treasure. He continued his trek, crossing thousands of miles of desert until he reached a small oasis. There, he met a beautiful girl named Fatima. The moment he looked into her eyes, his heart was overwhelmed by a tidal wave of love at first sight. After a long time, he fell deeply in love with her. He even considered abandoning his dream to stay at the oasis and be with her forever. But the visions of the alchemist woke him up. Santiago, a man deeply in love and dangerously close to losing his way, realized that giving up his dream would lead to a lifetime of regret. And the woman he loved would end up carrying that heavy burden alongside him for the rest of her life. Seeing his own heart clearly, Santiago resolutely pursued his dream and set off for Egypt. As the writer Jia Pingwa once said, a person who truly lives must know how to let go. You have to be willing to let go in order to gain. Without letting go, you get nothing. People who achieve greatness know how to sacrifice immediate comfort and fleeting joy to pursue the true dream burning in their hearts. Because true motivation always comes from that unstoppable desire within. Moving forward, Santiago faced massive challenges on his quest in Egypt. While crossing the desert, he was captured by a military camp and stripped of all his money. He was forced into a life-or-death situation where he had to turn himself into the wind within 3 days, or else he'd be killed. Faced with this impossible challenge, he didn't break. He used all the love in his heart to communicate with the sun and the wind. He connected with the soul of the world, intertwining with all of nature, and struggled to understand the language of the universe. With the encouragement and inspiration of the alchemist, he defied the impossible and literally became the wind. Yet, when he finally reached the pyramids, not only did he not find the treasure, but he was also beaten to a pulp and robbed of his gold by bandits. However, from the very words of one of those bandits, he discovered the exact location of his real treasure. It was right back where he started, in his homeland. When you have a dream that you are desperate to fulfill, one that is always alive in your heart, no amount of hardship or struggle can truly defeat you. As Friedrich Nietzsche famously said, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." Paulo Coelho himself confessed that it is the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting. Every single one of us has infinite potential, and the pursuit of a dream is filled with endless joy. Your dream might not come true exactly as you imagined, but the journey itself will bring you genuine happiness and joy. You will undeniably become a better version of yourself. Just like Santiago, who crossed seas and deserts, traveled far and wide, only to come full circle and find his treasure back at the starting point. It might seem like a waste of time, but in reality, everything he saw, heard, and experienced along the way enriched his entire life. Even if Santiago had never found that physical treasure, the life he lived was incredibly fascinating. All the ups and downs were simply experiences that fueled his growth. Life isn't just about the days we have lived. It is about the days that are worth remembering. So, my friends, please remember this. If you have a dream, you absolutely must chase it. Never give up on the dream in your heart. No matter how harsh reality gets, keep that dream in the warmest corner of your heart. No one can stop you from living the life you want, except you. You have to believe that all true motivation must come from that burning fire within yourself. You have to trust that there is no tomorrow you cannot reach. For the rest of our lives, I hope we all have the courage to face our true desires, bravely march toward our dreams, take responsibility for our own lives, and let them shine brilliantly. Thank you so much for tuning in to Better Version, your channel for comprehensive personal growth through great books. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with someone who might need it. Support us by hitting that like button, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell so you never miss our weekly episodes. And if you have any thoughts or feelings about this story, drop a comment down below. Thanks again, take care, and I will catch you in the next episode.